5 countries which have significantly reduced inequality over a long period of time, as measured by the Gini index. Let's not get into whether that's a useful index or not. I'll leave that to Alex. So the questions we should be asking is, well, what were the politics that led to those redistributive periods? What were the policies that were used? Yes, we're still interested in policies. And then I think the other question we should be asking is, what is the politics that means it comes to an end? What are the politics of unraveling which stopped those redistributive periods continuing? All of those would be very important, I think, for us to understand where we go next. And again, this day of intensive study led to some hypotheses. You know, I wouldn't say they're anything more than that, but what you see a few patterns across those 5 countries. New political formations with new political actors, new social movements. Peasant parties seem to be quite important. You know, so that the mass in Bolivia, the Workers' Party in Brazil. So you can see that there are often redistributive periods are triggered by the rise of a new political actor based on social organization. Shocks and transitions, as Francis mentioned, so often linked to a conflict, an existential threat. Sweden was genuinely threatened by Soviet communism in the 20s when it started on a big redistributive period. New constitutions. I'm British, we don't think much about constitutions, but actually it's quite interesting how many redistributive periods are both captured in and fueled by new constitutional discussions and agreements, and some things which don't matter too much, actually. So some of those countries that are redistributing have lots of natural resources. It doesn't seem to stop you if you have the right politics and policies. The ethnic diversity question I think is really interesting. And my reading of Mauritius and Malaysia is when you have political power and economic power in different hands, that can actually lead to a kind of bargain, and you can get a redistributive period provided you've had a shock of some kind to trigger it and make people realize that they have to do a deal. So some look at what kind of ethnic diversity and heterogeneity, I can say it, leads to a redistributive period seems to be the kind of thing to go. So as I say, that was a day. I think we could probably justify a bit more time on this, but I think it's a really interesting question, and I really hope that out of this conference comes at least some momentum behind doing this properly. So actually having some proper case studies and some proper comparisons and actually trying to nail down the Ha-Joon Chang meets Thomas Piketty meets Adrian Lefwich kind of magic triangle.